Alright, we're live. Once again. So, anyway. Today's episode we're going to be talking about comic book movies. Fast and Furious 9. Delayed because of coronavirus. I have to say this one, before we get into the show. The coronavirus thing is... it is the most fear-mongering thing I've ever seen. I am just throwing that out there. It is like I have never seen people freak out over this virus thing. It is just, it is just completely insane how people, fear over it. So, anyway, let's get the intro going and we'll get the topics ready for discussion of the show. So, here's the intro. several films got canceled over the coronavirus. James Bond film canceled. Coronavirus pushed for I think it'll be out next year. Fast and Furious 9 next year because of the coronavirus. And A Quiet Place 2. Again, canceled. Good luck. Thank you, love. So, a lot of films got pushed back because of the coronavirus and things. And as I look at the whole big picture of the coronavirus, all these things, I don't know why, but something in my mind, I feel like, yeah, I hate the coronavirus. I feel like they are making a big deal out of something. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, man, you gone conspiracy, Alex Jones style of it. No, it's just like, I question it. That's what I'm really doing, is like, is this whole virus thing just a fear tactic? I mean, we had the swine flu, the bird flu, the Mayan calendar thing. Really, nobody really freaked out over the Mayan calendar, but West Nile virus. We had all these stupid like virus things, and people freaked out. It's like, it reminds me of like Y2K, where people got fucking afraid of computers are going to shut down and we're all going back to the Stone Age type thing. I'd been like, no, we ain't going back to Stone Age. There's no dinosaur to slide down and, say yabba dabba doo. So we ain't going back to Stone Age. But I feel like this whole virus thing is just, people are afraid. I mean, it doesn't help much you have 24-hour news where they're like, coronavirus, the coronavirus. We have a medical expert, doctor whoever, talking about the coronavirus. I mean, for God's sakes, we're out of toilet paper where I'm at. The store took all the Charmin off. What are we going to use? I mean, it's still winter. There's no leaves to wipe ass with. So we're all doomed since the toilet paper bears are gone. We're in this age of like, people are afraid. Now we're at the point of like, movies are being canceled. I'm waiting for comic books to be like, we're not going to publish any more books because of the coronavirus type thing. We're just at this age where it's just like, it's ridiculous that people are afraid. And the most simple things they can do to not spread or get the coronavirus is simply wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Any of that. If you're going to sneeze, do the dab where you're going to sneeze. That's the simple things you can do. But no one doesn't want to do it. It is ridiculous that they are canceling Fast and Furious 9. I mean, I wasn't really going to see the film. I'm more pissed off that Jim's film got, pushed back a year. I blamed Dwight on that one, but it's the Office reference for those who don't know. I've been watching The Office lately. I've been watching like some old episodes I really like. My favorite Office episode is the one where Michael drives his car into the lake. And Oscar goes, "You did what?" And Michael goes, "I drove my car into the fucking lake." I never laughed so hard in a while because that, like, my ribs hurt from laughing because, and of course, saying technology is trying to kill us all. So I'm more pissed off about A Quiet Place 2 being pushed back. I really like the first film. The first film was really good. I'm just aggravated that the sequel been, pushed back. I mean, Fast and Furious, I couldn't give no shits about, family. I don't got friends. I got family. La Familia. That is the stupidest fucking franchise I've ever seen. Physics got the middle finger by Vin Diesel. So, I mean, really, all honesty, I couldn't care less about Fast 9, but James Bond is kind of disappointing that they, I think they got pushed back. Yeah, I think they did. I was reading that someone said James Bond movie got pushed back because of Corona. But the thing about it is, I feel like people are overreacting to a virus. Yes, did Tom Hanks test positive for coronavirus? I mean, here's the thing. I mean, the NBA season got canceled because of the coronavirus. One, they went to China, so you don't know what they got over there. So for me, it's utterly disappointing that they pushed the films back because of coronavirus. And here's the thing. If they're going to cause more harm, studios are probably, running around, like a chicken without a head, realizing they just fucked themselves over by canceling films that were going to make money for them. Like Fast and Furious was probably going to make $1 billion, like any other film. I mean, seriously, who goes to see Fast and Furious? I mean, I've seen the new video game that they're doing. The new video game looks like a PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 type game. So, I mean, So, for me, it's kind of annoying. Vin Diesel's Fast 9 delayed to April 2021. So they're going to go up against the Batman. They're releasing the film to go up against Batman. You should have just stuck to the original release date. I mean, you're going to release your film to go up against Batman. How stupid are you? To quote Michael Scott, why are you the way you are? I mean, if someone, if you ask me, like, what film are you going to see next year? I'm going to go see Batman. Like any other person. Every person's going to go see Batman. They aren't going to go see Family. And stuff. Like, nobody's going to go see. I mean, like, no one's going to go see Fast and Furious. I mean, they're right now in the dinosaur age of extinction because their films are basically the same thing over and over and over. You got cars, family, driving fast, family, jumping buildings. I mean, like, once I saw the movie where they jumped the one car from one building into the other, bullshit. That is basically, there is no fucking way a 1,000-pound car can fly from one building into the other. It doesn't matter how much NOS or anything you're using. There is no way that can happen. Unless your car is the Batmobile. Then I could totally believe it. I mean, I seen Batman jump a bridge. So, there is the Batmobile. Yeah, the Batmobile. Remember the Tumbler? And Batman Begins, where he jumps from one side of Gotham to the other. I would believe that. But, I mean, now they're going to the realistic route. I mean, I seen the Batmobile blow up,
tear apart a car. And Dawn of Justice, that was an awesome scene, by the way, where the Batmobile takes out several cars and all of a sudden it just shoots down this one car and drives right through it, and that was an awesome moment. But there is no way that there was no way that car could go through that one building. So, I mean, the weird thing about it, like when I watched the Fast and Furious films, like I seen the first one was okay. It's like, it's one of the, like when you look back on it, it's like one of those movies, it's like, it's one of those films. When I seen the new ones, it's like, how did the government go from like having CIA, spies and all that to like, all right, we're going to get this street racing family, air quotes, to handle top secret missions because, they drive cars and, they look badass, they're really cool, they're really edgy. You got a bald dude with muscles and, saying family. I mean, I totally I totally don't understand how they got all these, people who have criminal records to be like secret spies and stuff. I mean, if it was The Rock leading the group, I could totally understand, like, The Rock, he's cool and stuff. Like, I watched the ones where The Rock showed up in the Fast and Furious films because they were actually really entertaining. And then once they got rid of The Rock and replaced him with John Cena, it's like, it's kind of a downgrade. Like, I seen the Hobbs and Shaw film. I think Hobbs and Shaw. The Rock and Jason Statham in that film. That was actually a really good film, by the way. It was very funny and entertaining. But I can't wait to see The Rock in the Black Adam movie that they're doing. So, might be a good film. So, anyway, let's talk about the Batman film. Batman comics. Joker reveals his truth about the designer. DC presents the exclusive preview for Batman 91. And Batman 90, Catwoman revealed the truth meeting with the designer, how Joker ended up causing a major brawl that seemingly left a mysterious new villain apparently dead. However, DC is given Comic Book Resource, CBR, an exclusive preview of Batman 91, and it reveals the truth of what happened to the Joker and the Joker's point of view. Oh boy. Alright, Batman 91. To save Gotham City, Catwoman will have to commit the greatest heist in city's history. But hot on her tail are the Penguin, the Riddler, and hordes of assassins, and the master criminal called the Designer. The most dangerous person standing in her way is the man she's trying to save, Batman. And complications will arise as his new sidekick is Harley Quinn. I fucking hate this book already. I don't get it. I mean, I like the new variant. I like the variant cover where it's like a total reference to I like the comic variant cover reference to Batman Returns with the Penguin. Alright, with Joker, basically, he's basically talking to a bartender. Then he's on the cell phone, drinking a martini. And you have Slade Wilson, Deathstroke, showing up. You got Batman dealing with Deathstroke. You got Harley in the Batcave. And stuff, so.
Yeah. I mean, I like the one part where the Joker's like drawing on napkins. Like he's drawing the designer, then he draws the Penguin with the Penguin wearing the top hat with the monocle. You have Riddler, and he draws Catwoman, which is a cat head on a lady's body carrying a bag with pearls and jewelry and stuff. I do like that part. That is pretty funny. So, yeah. So they announced, DC also announced that Tom Taylor will be writing another Deceased after the first Deceased Unkillables and now Deceased Dead Planet. In the artwork that was released, we got the Wonder Girl, you got Batman, you got Constantine, you got Swing, and you got Superman. Hopefully they don't kill fucking Batman off again. Like, let's see. With this new Justice League coming, Taylor wrote the Deceased, which will have a new Justice League working together to dismantle an alien face. There's Diana Lance, formerly Black Canary, now Green Lantern. Cassie is the new Wonder Woman. John Kent takes up his father's mantle as Superman. Let's see. Like John Kent taking up the mantle, Damian Wayne will now take his father's mantle as the Batman. Okay, I want to read this one. Finally, Damian Wayne is going to be Batman. Again, in Deceased, which we saw Damian as Batman and Batman. In the one Batman comics, I think Batman 666, where, I think that was it, or was it Detective Comics 666? I forget. So I cannot wait to read this. I take it this one is going to be a sequel to Deceased, which is now... Yeah, it's going to be a sequel to the hit miniseries Deceased. So, I like this. I will say this. A couple things that's interesting is I like Damian's bat suit. It's very cool looking. The bat symbol is very awesome. It kind of reminds me of the bat suit and all that. Kind of reminds me of the Batman short film Batman Dead End for some odd reason. John's Superman suit kind of reminds me of the failed J.J. Abrams Superman Flyby, which of course became Superman Returns once Bryan Singer joined after Mick G and Brett Ratner didn't do it. J.J. Abrams, of course, wanted to direct it, but it was at the time before J.J. Abrams became J.J. Abrams that we all know. So I do like the Superman suit. It just sort of looks like it. It looks like the Superman suit from concept art of Superman Flyby. Because originally there was like different designs for it. So I do dig it. Yeah. I hated Grayson as Batman. I did too. Dick Grayson is not... He's not meant to be Batman. He's better as Nightwing. He's better at having his own mantle instead of it being handed to him. Or, inheriting it. Damian is meant... I always think Damian's meant to be the new Batman, That's why I always thought like Batman Beyond should be sort of like Damian Wayne as Batman Beyond and the future Batman, future Gotham.
it's one of those things. Like, a lot of people always think like Tim Drake should be the next Batman. It's like, no. And Jason Todd is not. It's the same way. Jason Todd is the same way as Dick Grayson. He's meant to have his own mantle. Tim Drake is just like, and I'm a fan of Tim. Tim Drake's my favorite Robin. I always like, Tim Drake. I always felt like Tim Drake always got the short end of the stick when it comes to like Robins. Like, if you think of Robins, you think of like Dick Grayson, you think of Jason Todd, you think of Damian. Tim is sort of like the third one that sort of like is forgotten. He's like the Ringo Starrs of Robins. So I mean, for me, it's like I always think that Tim should have a better, a better storyline when it comes to, comics and stuff. Like, I always thought like, they should, have him work for like, they should have like, him, be like a secret agent, like what they did with Grayson, like when Tom King did the Grayson comics and stuff. Because Tim Drake is like one of those smart, intelligent, knowledgeable characters and stuff. Like, he has, the computer savvy, the martial arts savvy, all these things. Like, they should just do a Shield type story for him to do. Like, instead of him just being Red Robin. Every time I hear that name or say that name, Red Robin, I think of bottomless fries and burgers from the restaurant Red Robin. And by the way, the bottomless fries thing is a lie. They do not do that. I'm just saying. Like, I went there once for a family member's birthday. They did not have bottomless fries. And their fries were not that good, by the way. Their fries, they have the worst French fries ever. I always, the best French fries ever, in my opinion, is either Captain D's or Steak and Shake, in my opinion. And I do like steak fries, but man, they have the worst French fries ever at Red Robin's. So, just throwing that out there. So anyway, I look forward to the Deceased comic. I did read the first issue of Deceased Unkillables, which is focused on several anti-heroes such as Red Hood, and focused on several anti-heroes and villains including Red Hood and Deathstroke. I enjoyed the first issue. Jason Todd and Jim Gordon are best duo. And I was really disappointed with the first series of Deceased, where they killed off, Batman, Catwoman, Nightwing, Tim Drake. I was really disappointed in it. I did not like the first volume. I have the first 3 books. I bought them basically. I still have now because I bought the variant covers of the first 2. The movie poster ones where it was Nightmare on Elm Street, where it had Batman and Ivy on it, Batman and Poison Ivy on the cover, and the other one is the It, where it has Damian and Joker with the balloon. So I have the variant covers. I don't want to get rid of them because I bought those on Amazon. I paid $10 for each. So I am not getting rid of them. I'm keeping them for the variant covers, but I didn't like the series because I just felt like there was one thing I always wanted to see, which was Batman Bruce Wayne battling zombies. I mean, you kind of got that in the Catwoman series. You got to see Catwoman, Selena Kyle, fight zombies in her series. On issue 20 or 21, she fights a horde of zombies. So that was really cool. I'm just disappointed with that. I always wanted to see Batman take on zombies. Him and Dick Grayson and the Bat Family and Catwoman, take on zombies, man. Like, I want to see them kick the shit out of zombies and have fun with it. But Unkillable's sort of making it up for it. They just better not fucking kill Jim Gordon off. That's all I gotta say. You don't kill Jim Gordon, you don't kill Jason Todd, you let those two just enjoy the road trip. One thing I like to know is, where the hell is Alfred? I mean, he took the bat plane after he shot Bruce. I like to know where Alfred is, man. Alfred ended up killing Bruce Wayne Batman with a shotgun. Then he got on the plane, then he flew off somewhere. So I like to know where Alfred is at the moment. So hopefully they explain it in either Unkillables or in Deceased 2. So it was kind of a sad way when they started Unkillables, because Jason buries Bruce, Grayson, and Tim, and he created like these tombstones for them to, Then he takes the Batmobile with Ace, the Bat Hound, and they drive off. So that's the one that's kind of like one that like kind of bugged me a bit with it. So let's get to Bleeding Cool. Let's see what they got over here. eBay's revealed that Nightwing number 70 is for sale on there for $50. $50 for Nightwing 70. I don't know who would pay $50 for it. I mean, the most I ever paid for a comic was $25 for the first printing of Batman and Elmer Fudd. I told the story before. Like, I had to buy it on Amazon because my comic book store did not have Batman Elmer Fudd, because they sold out of it, because it was like a big deal. People were like, oh my god, this is so cool. And the cool thing about it was it sort of tied into the Tom King run of Batman, which I will applaud Tom King for that, making it canon in the Batman comics that Elmer Fudd, Porky Pig, exists in that world. I will applaud Tom King for that. Like, that is something I would have done. Like, Elmer Fudd showing up, trying to kill Bruce Wayne, him and Batman get into a fight. Porky Pig is there, because in Batman 85, Porky Pig is there. Batman and Kite Man were at Porky's bar. So that is really one thing I will admit that is really great. But I wish King would have done another Batman Elmer Fudd story, or had Elmer Fudd show up in Batman. So it was really cool. So fan of the popular character Nightwing has been camping at the bit to get their hands on. I love how Juterra writes. This is how Juterra writes. Fans of the popular character Nightwing have been camping a bit to get their hands on some dick. What the fuck? Specifically, they want the comic book where Nightwing goes by Dick Grayson again, not Rick Grayson, as he's been called since being shot in the head in the Batman comic. We're coming to know that we already know that
the Nightwing 70 has been the top-selling comic kick. The Joker War storyline. I'm already tired of Joker. And it's looking more and more like they will finally be the comic where Nightwing goes back to his name Dick again. I love how Jude Terra just writes it. I don't like Rick. I don't like the Rick Grayson name. And the thing about it is, like, it's very stupid. Like, why didn't they just be like, he goes by Richard Grayson? Like, why didn't they just do that? I mean, the Richard Grayson thing would have made sense since that's his, birth name, Richard Grayson, like, or Rich Grayson. Like, they could have just went with that instead of like Rick. So that's the one thing I wanted to, kind of throw out there. Like, why didn't they just go with Richard Grayson? The cover of it, of course, it shows Joker putting on the Nightwing suit. That is so wrong in so many ways. And I like the variant cover. The variant cover is really cool. I like the Nightwing suit in the variant cover. It's not like the old Nightwing suit with the blue and black. Instead, it's blue and silver. I will have to say, like, I do like the variant cover. So, blue and silver. Why didn't they try that one? Is one question, Because it's like blue and silver would be really interesting, like, if they just went with that. Like, if you're gonna bring back the old, Dick Grayson, give him a new suit while you're at it. Like, give him that, something new, a new suit, I mean, I don't think he would want to wear the Nightwing suit after Joker wore it. You don't know if Joker bathes. you know what I mean? Like, you don't know where he's been. So, just throwing that out there. Like, would you imagine just, hearing that? So, ready. Let's see what's. Alright, I'm just gonna up something real quick. Let's see what's going on with Marvel. I have not read Marvel comics in a while, so I don't really understand it. Like, this is kind of the interesting thing. I never understood how my uncle could read Marvel comics. Like, I tried reading Marvel and stuff. Like, I enjoyed Daredevil and stuff. Like, I will admit, like, I like Daredevil, but I cannot read any comics. I can't. I cannot sit through, and with it in my mind, I'm thinking, like, how can people buy it? How can people buy these books and just be like, these are great stories? And you pay, X amount of money, like $3.99, maybe $4.99 or $5.99 for these books, and just be like accepting of, like, this is the story that they're telling me, and I have to accept it. I'm not just saying, like, you don't like the story, go back to, the comic book store. It's not their fault. And stuff. And you can't, of course, you can't go on, like, Twitter or Facebook or anywhere and, criticize. You can't say anything negative about it, because the writers bitch and complain and epic fights, then they block you after you make valid points and stuff. Like, it bothers the shit out of me that Marvel is just that way. And I will say this. Ever since they got bought by Disney, they became lazy. Lazy is what they... Like, they look at it like, I got job security, plus I'm liberal. Or they will use their sexuality, their gender, their race, their political point of views just to keep a job. That's the whole point of it. And that's the thing that bothers the shit out of me. Is people are so accepting of it. And here's the thing about it, like, Marvel Comics hires incompetent people. They hire people that are not fit to write stories of characters they don't even know. They don't know these characters. And instead they inject their point of views of things and force these characters that have been around for 80 plus years and more to be like, this is how they are. I mean, for God's sakes, like when they did like the Marvel 80, they stole artwork from DC in one part. Which I laughed hysterically because I'm thinking like, that's Alan Scott Green Lantern. Like, I look at it and I'm thinking like, they hire people, yeah, they're losers. I mean, I don't like the characters that much. I'm not a big Spider-Man fan, but I know I could write a better Spider-Man story than they can. Hell, I could write a better Superman story, and I fucking hate Superman. I don't like Superman. But I could write better than Bendis. I don't like Superman. I could write I grew up with parents who are Superman fans, and I don't really care for Superman, but I realized I could write a better Superman story than anything. I mean, it's pretty bad that, Tamashii made Superman actually interesting, because, Superman's been the same character for 80, going on 90 years almost. And once you finally give the guy a wife and kid, you actually made him interesting and relatable, actually. That's the problem with Superman, is just like, you can't make him relatable because no one is not alien from another planet. You can make Batman. Batman is more interesting and more understanding of why he is the way he is, because he's human. I mean, the Flash is the same way. The Flash, nobody could run fast as the Flash, but you made the character interesting. And the thing about it is, that's the problem with these characters at Marvel. They don't have flaws. They don't have moments of weakness and doubt in themselves. Instead, you make all these characters who are, different race, gender, sexuality, Mary Sues of the world. They can't be beat. I remember the one episode, not the one episode, but I remember the one story. I forget which Marvel story it was, and I laughed uncontrollably, where it was Asian Hulk, young Cyclops, because back then they made Cyclops a teenage kid instead of the Cyclops that is adult who is, kid. Vision's daughter. I forget what other characters, but I didn't read the issue. I've heard about it, and I saw the artwork, and I couldn't help but laugh. It was when Mark Waid was writing it. they lose their place. They lose their home or something to a bank because they didn't pay. Because capitalism. Because, it was a story of Mark Waid saying, like, capitalism's evil. You don't pay your bills, you lose everything. And their expressions were funny when they saw the notice of eviction. Like, they had this, like, expression of, like, shock and horror and terror. Like, they had the expression of, like, somebody ran over a fucking dog. Like, they had that expression, and they were, like, wanting to fight the bank man because they took their home. They took our jobs. I couldn't help but laugh at it because it was just like, this story is so stupid. And reading it, I couldn't believe that it was Mark Waid, the guy who wrote Kingdom Come, wrote this. I just couldn't fathom and believe it. I mean, Mark Waid's fucking crazy, yes. But why would you write this? Like, dude, you wrote, like, several great comics. Like, the sad thing is Bendis was a great writer, and as much as I don't like Bendis, he wrote a really good Spider-Man run. He had a really good Spider-Man run with Ultimate Spider-Man. It was really good. But I don't agree with him the way he's doing Superman. I don't agree of going back in time, good old days, and all that. It's like, move forward, evolve, make the characters evolve. And that's the thing I always say about Batman. And a lot of people would disagree with me, but I don't care. But I am standing with my judgment on this one. Batman needs to evolve. Catwoman needs to evolve. These characters are 80. They are 80 years old. Can you please just move them forward in time? I mean, not get older and, retire and all that, but add layers to them. Add layers to them. Add new character traits to them. I mean, not too much, but to the point where they are parents. They're married. They're, raising a kid while fighting, crime and doing stuff. Like, I'm so tired of the same stories. The same, character tropes and all that. Like, I am tired of seeing these characters alone and, doing nothing. It's like, I want to see these characters evolve. I want to see them be mature, and stuff. Like, it's kind of like, it's kind of the same way with Dick Grayson and all that. Like, and, Barbara Gordon and stuff. Like I miss the Oracle character. And I know there's a lot of people like, I love Barbara Gordon the way she is now. It's great, but I just miss the Oracle character. I always felt like Oracle was, and I will say this to the end of time, that Oracle was the best character take on Barbara Gordon. Barbara Gordon, I know this is going to sound mean. I know somewhere someone's going to be like, that's morbid to say that, but her getting shot and put into a wheelchair actually made her evolve as a character. As fucked up as that sounds, her being, Oracle made her matter more. She was the eyes and ears of the family.
I'm glad she didn't forget that Vin Diesel speech. I'm not just your eyes and ears. I'm family. I hate that fucking movie. But I hate that movie. So anyway, but the point is, I really missed Oracle. Like I miss the fun times. Like I would of her, being in, Dick Grayson's ears, and they're both like bickering back and forth as he's fighting, thugs and villains and stuff, and she's just like, watching him but pointing out things. Like I miss that. I miss that. And I'm so happy that Dick Grayson's coming back, because I want the old Dick Grayson, the funny, sarcastic, witty version, to come back. I'm so tired of this amnesia, Jason Bourne type Dick Grayson. Who am I? Was I funny? I'm so tired of that. Like, So for me, I'm happy with that story, and hopefully they, kind of make it matter, So, anyway, as I was talking about Marvel.
Boy. A month ago, Bleeding Cool picked up that Immortal Hulk series regular, Charlene McGowan, formerly scientist working for supervillains, now working for the Hulk, I don't know, was a new transgender character for Marvel. Ugh. Really? She has now been working in hormone research. Would you imagine the meetings at Marvel? That would be like the worst thing ever. Yeah. So, I'd be like the one person from Office Space. I don't know if anybody remembers that movie. I don't know if anybody's ever seen Office Space, where, my stapler, type of thing, and he goes off on his bosses and he says, like, what the hell's wrong with you people? That would be me at Marvel. I would be like, what the hell is wrong with you people? And the thing is, like, I have nothing against people who, I don't understand people who transition different genders. I don't understand it. I really don't want to. And I'm not being offensive or mean. It's just like, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people can do it. And I did make a statement where once I don't like that transgender women are fighting in an octagon or a wrestling ring, track, weightlifting against naturally born women. I don't like that. I did not like that MMA thing where they had a transgender woman literally beat the shit out of a UFC naturally born woman. MMA, naturally, cage fighting. So, I don't like that. I did not like that AEW had a transgender woman fight a 90-pound woman in a wrestling ring. I did not like that. I don't like that, and I have not been watching AEW ever since, because that shit is wrong. So, for me, I do not like seeing that. And I watched the UFC, the Octagon fight between a transgender fighter against a woman fighter. That woman fighter suffered a fractured skull. That shit ain't right. And people applauded by saying, you are so brave, beautiful, you beat the shit out of a woman. What is wrong with people? I don't understand these people. And you can't say to me, and here's the thing, I failed science class. I got an A in common sense. But you can't really transition a man into a woman. You can't. You can't do that. I know some scientists say we can, but you can't, you could turn the P into a V, but you can't transition the entire hormones into that. You can't. You can't do that. I don't care if you could say, I don't care if people say like you're transphobic for saying that. I'm speaking the truth. You can't. I seen clips of the Nyla Rose, I think is her name, the transgender female wrestler. That chick or dude outsized that Japanese female wrestler. She looked like a fucking gorilla against a small Japanese woman. What the fuck were they thinking? Seriously. And the thing is, like, people are just like, supportive of it. And it's just insane. So, which comes in handy for her. Anyway, let's get back to Marvel. She's also been working on hormone research, which comes in handy for her own needs. For the first time, she talks about it in the new. Talks about it in relation to the alien creature Exumu. I think I pronounced that. I don't know. Sounds like Xenu. Currently mentally controlling and influencing the world to rewrite the way they see it, in her own specific take on this. And stuff like that. And for Dr. Charlene McGow, the experience has not exactly made her immune to Exumu's influence. Blah 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 blah. I have not read the Hulk comics in a while, so. Boy. Anyway. Talk about the Batwoman show. I've watched the first episode of Batwoman. I did not watch the current run of it. But one thing that was revealed is Batwoman drops another clue to the Batman's disappearance in the Arrowverse. Batwoman reveals that Lucius Fox's killer is still out there, and hints at a conspiracy that could explain Batman's Arrowverse disappearance. In the latest episode of Batwoman drops another clue of why Batman's disappearance in the Arrowverse. Batwoman Kate Kane returns to Gotham City for its greatest defender. Nobody has seen Bruce Wayne for 3 years, and not even the brief theft of his mother's pearl necklace promoted him to return to Gotham. Oh, not even the admittedly brief theft of his mother's pearls promoted him to return to Gotham. Gotham has suffered in Batman's absence and has greatly embraced its new vigilante. But Batman isn't the only one who's missing in Gotham. Both Oracle and Robin are confirmed to exist in the Arrowverse, and yet mysteriously are absent. Even Batman's civilian allies also vanished, with Commissioner Gordon replaced by Jack Forbes as the new head of the GCPD. And even in the comics, Forbes was a corrupt cop who stepped up after Gordon was framed for causing a disaster. An early move by the crime boss Carmine Falcone. Even concerning Lucius Fox was shot dead in what seems a mugging gone wrong. That particular case was solved by a group of corrupt cops through prompting viewers to whether there was a cover-up. This sounds like a fucking mess. And the latest episode, Grinning from Ear to Ear, supports the theory that Jacob Kane incurred a debt to a criminal named Reggie while he was in prison. Reggie was the man jailed for Lucius Fox's murder. In the episode, Jacob personally reviews evidence and is left a little more disturbed. He fears that Gotham's crows themselves may be complicate in some sort of cover-up. He learned security footage of the shooting was oddly lost, and the crows receive a payoff from an unknown source. In the other hand of the suspect, hand over a suspect to the GCPD. Jacob maybe instinctive that he is not corrupt, that he is deeply disturbed and wondering if the crows compromise or whether or not his own people, particularly in the cover-up. Jacob's investigation currently certainly indicates Reggie was innocent for Fox's killing, and raises disturbing questions of whether he's unwillingly stumbled upon a conspiracy. I'll tell you where Batman and all them went. They're doing a movie. I mean, I will admit, like, Lucius Fox's murder and all that seems very interesting. Like, I will admit, like, I'll admit that's pretty cool. I mean, you need a mystery and stuff. But it's just really, it's one of those things that it's just like, why couldn't they just do a show where, like, Batman, like, the weird thing about it is it's really one of those things that I don't understand, So, Batwoman also suffered low ratings for the show as well. We talked about it once. Grinning from Ear to Ear only had 774,000 views, which is less than its previous low from the January's episode, How Queer Everything Is Today. You had to hand to those writers, man. They are really, forcing this identity politics stuff. The problem is with Batwoman show and all that. And I mentioned my niece, my second oldest niece, is a big fan of Batwoman, and stuff. The problem with Batwoman TV show is that they're focused more on her personal life and her, sexuality and all that. They aren't focused on who Kate Kane is, the person. Instead, they're focused on Kate Kane, who she's in bed with. That is the problem with the CW and the writers of Batwoman. Kate Kane is actually a very highly intelligent individual who respects her cousin, Bruce Wayne, who tries not to be like, I'm going to be better than him type thing. She admires and was inspired by her cousin to become Batwoman and stuff. And I wish they would have just done that. I wish they would have put her in a different city. Have Bruce Wayne sort of be involved once in a great while. Send her technology, equipment, and stuff that she needs to help start up her crusade and fighting crime and all that. They didn't do that. Wait, Batwoman is Bruce... Yeah, Kate Kane is Bruce Wayne's cousin. You didn't know that? Yeah, she is Batman's cousin. Bruce Wayne's cousin. All. Yeah, it's yeah. So originally, like I didn't know that. Yeah, like originally they introduced her in the, I think, Silver Age comics as like Batwoman as Bruce Wayne's love interest, but when they brought her back in the current comic run, they made her Batman's cousin. Yeah, which was smart. Yeah. Yeah, she is Bruce Wayne's cousin. That's how she sort of, like, in the TV show, that's how she now inherited his Wayne Enterprise, Wayne Tower and all that, is that, she inherited it, which was kind of dumb. Yeah, they, the current version, they brought her back, and the weird thing is, like, and the problem that a lot of people I think have is, like, now they got rid of, like, Renee Montoya and the current, like, run and all that. Yeah, she is Kate Kane. Her fictional background, it was revealed that yeah, origins and all that's revealed that Jeff Johns, Grant Morrison, Greg Rucka, Mark Waid, and Keith Ian Griffin brought her back. She came back as Kate Kane in 52, issue 7 in 2006, and as Batwoman she appeared in issue 11. So yeah, she has like the same like abilities and all that as Batman. So that's the problem with it. Like they don't really like let her be herself. And that was the problem I found with Batwoman. And I mean, we'll do an episode like one day of like how I would have, I think I did an episode how I would have done it. But the problem with it is they focus on two things: her sexuality and her being in the shadow of Batman. Like, I could be better type thing. It's like that song, anything you could do, I could do better. It's literally that song and stuff. And the problem with the entirety of DC and all that, it's just like they don't, I wish DC would step in and be like, this is how we should do it. Like, the show should be like this. But instead, it's like CW is like, we want to do our, identity politics, and all that. It's like, and the sad part is like, you have this character in Gotham, and you're not doing, you're trying to do something to fix it, and you're not doing that great of a job and stuff. It's like you hit the iceberg you got a giant hole in the boat and you're trying and trying to patch it. So anyway, we're gonna wrap. We're already over an hour, so man, like we're already over 60 minutes. So we're gonna wrap up the podcast early and stuff. So anyway, it's been a great show. Got plenty of sleep, doing great. So anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna be. Thank you, love. And we're gonna talk more. I didn't get to like back-to-the-back issues because I did not grab any comics out of the box to talk about what's what issues and stuff. We'll do that tomorrow. I'll grab 5 books, I guess. We'll grab 10 books and we'll go over like 5 that were supposed to be done today and 5 tomorrow. So anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. And are you gonna watch Fast and Furious? No, I don't have the Fast and Furious films on DVD or Blu-ray. I don't want them. I don't want those films. Man, they are like I never seen film franchise that is so beloved, but yet their stories and stuff is so corny and cheesy and stuff. I remember somebody made a YouTube video where it's like the word family used throughout the Fast and Furious films. I don't got friends. I got family. And it's hard to believe that this film franchise is what got Gal Gadot the role of Wonder Woman. That is what is so messed up about it. It's like that, that is just, that is insane. Then they tried to like get the blonde chick from the Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, to play Catwoman. Like they wanted the blonde chick from it. It's like, no. I'm happy that they got Zoe Kravitz. I wonder if Lenny Kravitz is going to be doing the music for the Batman film. That would be interesting, though. And it's more interesting that Aquaman... It's more interesting that Aquaman is Catwoman's stepdad. Like, that is the most one thing I cannot believe. And Catwoman's mom is the oldest daughter in the Cosby Show. That I cannot believe. So, like, that would be interesting, though. Like, now, just hearing that makes me want to see Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz Catwoman, to appear in the Justice League film with Jason Momoa. It makes me now want to see that. I want to see them sort of like cross paths and see what happens. That would be interesting. So, so. So, oh man, would you imagine that? Like, they stand there and like talking, all of a sudden Catwoman grabs a fish out of the Gotham River and throws it to her cats, and Aquaman's just standing there. So, anyway, we'll be back tomorrow, and I guess we'll talk more about the Robert Pattinson Batman films. Like, they're doing a trilogy, so what comics do we want to see made into the trilogy? So, anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. So,